We are now live. All right, mud lovers. As far as I know, we're live. I'm going to see if anybody can hear me. Leave a comment because I'm using a different platform today. I'm using StreamYard because I'm not on the foreshore. There's no need to be running around with my iPhone. So I've got the comfort of my laptop. And the genius thing about it as well is we can speak to Steve live from his house. Where's that? Maybe in Kent.
My house.
Old house in Kent. Or a new place, maybe. Baby.
Can you see that?
That looks like a very moody skyline. But it's
a very moody skyline, yeah.
Not cool. Oh, good. Everybody there, we can they can hear us loud and clear, so we can look at my beer. How cool is that? Look, it's because it's a green beer.
What's that?
It's a green beer, right? So
See my one.
Your one's you're right. You managed to source your Orangi Boon then, did you, Steve? Brilliant. Favourite beer. But yeah, mine was invisible. Right then, let's get this show on the road. So thanks everyone for joining us. Like I said, I'm in London, or East London, Essex, and well, Steve, tell us where you are, man. Where are you? Where in the world are you?
Right. Well, I'm in the squeakiest chair in the world, and I'm in Perranporth in Cornwall, which is where I now live. I'm in the control tower of a World War II airfield.
Look at that, man.
Let me just spin that round.
Awesome.
And then, if you look out there,
that's cool. So you can see all the planes landing.
Yeah, this is Steve, the security guard. So, hi.
Hello, Steve.
That's another Steve.
Oh, thanks for the super chat. FB Mudlarking World. Good luck in your new venture. Yeah, we're about to announce that a bit later on. But yeah, Steve has moved to Cornwall. That's one bit of news. That's not the main announcement, but it's still quite important. But it's not going to stop us doing any mudlarking because that's it. Yeah, end of the announcement. He's moved to Cornwall, and that's the end of it. So he's not as local to me as he used to be. But it doesn't matter because he's up in London all the time. And we've been out twice this year already.
In Australia, then I'll be next door if you go to Australia, sort of in the outback.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like 300 miles away.
It's 5 miles down, or 5 hours, down the road. 5 miles, that'd be nice. 5 hours. But we've got a whole stretch now between here and Cornwall. We must have we must have we must have what 300 miles of coastline now to explore between me and you. So we've basically widened the search to go out on hovercrafts. So but, well, to be honest, I can't wait to get to Plymouth and start like the edge, the Tamar and stuff. It's all tidal, and when those stuff comes out there, so it's going to be a good spot to search. We've got a long list of places to go, people to see, and places to explore, things to find. So we can get cracking on that. Lots of fun times ahead, I reckon. There's plenty of places around Cornwall, isn't there, to try to go hovercrafting with you. But as long as you don't crash.
I'm surrounded by.
Yeah, as long as you don't crash. We had a bit of an accident the other day, guys. We won't go into it too much, but
it happened, didn't they?
Yeah, I think you might have been a bit out of practice, and we forgot there wasn't any brakes on a hovercraft, so you sort of ended up. You did a nice 180 into a shipwreck. Put it that way.
Not in a wreck. It's World War II PT boat. So I mean.
Yeah, it was nice.
I crashed into a Second World War boat.
Well, we might even go and rescue it one day. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Steve, did you watch Eurovision?
If I said yes, I'd be lying.
I watched bits of it, but maybe we should announce that we're going to be doing a duet next year. Yeah, that would be cool.
I know that. Yeah, me and Simon. We've got Steve here on back.
Well, there's also a rumor going around about doing a calendar. Maybe we could do a calendar on the foreshore. With all the people, all the male mudlarks. Apparently.
Yeah. Have you got the Thames and Field calendar there still?
Not here, no. It's in my private collection, locked safely away.
Yeah.
We thought about
No,
it, didn't we?
I mean, yeah, there's only one you enter the picture for it, but I mean, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, you know, just put the bucket in a strategic place, don't you? Then obviously, you know, let the imagination do the rest. Could be quite a good one. You know, I might put it on the Etsy store. I reckon it might go down pretty well.
Yeah. So there'll be some desperate people wanting to buy that.
And also another announcement. There's many announcements. There's two more announcements I can think of. The first one, Steve, I want to ask you. I know you told me earlier, but we'll say it for the benefit of the crew that's watching. How is the hip, and when are you getting it replaced? Because last time we was out, you literally couldn't move, and people saw on the video that you was crawling around the foreshore because you literally walked 10 foot in the gloopy mud.
I was stuck.
And you were putting a brave face on it, obviously, because
yeah.
But yeah, so
searching I was. I'm basically on an emergency list now, so I mean it's sort of, I think it's like 3 days notice, so they'll give me 3 days notice. I'm getting hip replacement, so it should be within the next 2 months. Hopefully it's before the end of next month because we've got something else planned.
We have. Yeah, well, if you can get it as soon as possible, that would really help. Or maybe you can get a mobility, you know, ATV or something like that.
Hovercraft. It's like mobility parking tool, isn't it?
It is. That's what we say. Yeah, you don't need to walk when you've got a hovercraft. So yeah, it's the all-terrain vehicle for disabled people. In fact, I think they should give them out on the NHS. Rather than
definitely.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Yeah, it's sweet. Well, the other thing is tonight, guys, before you, if anybody in the UK, don't forget, Steve, we're on telly tonight. Don't forget. Remember that? I forgot, actually, earlier on.
Oh, yeah, we're on telly tonight. Yeah, Channel 4.
So the Hovercraft Shunters. And we reckon, well, Steve made a good point. We think they kind of borrowed our name, didn't they? Because the TV show is called...
Oh, yeah. They actually borrowed the whole TV series. So, yeah, I mean, was it plagiarism at its best, isn't it? So
I just think they're inspired.
How can I say that? Yeah, obviously. Yeah, it was inspired by us.
They're inspired by our name.
Not going to say too much. We didn't actually go anywhere. So we didn't actually go anywhere on the hovercraft. Sort of 5 foot away from the dock, wasn't it? So
it was, yeah. But I'll tell you, the drone footage that they got is really good. And I want to buy a drone to use for the upcoming.
Did you borrow one of mine and crash it into your fence?
Yes. Yeah. Well, no, actually, Matt found that on the foreshore. If you remember.
Yeah, Matt found it.
We got it working, and then I crashed it. And then hasn't been out of the box since. Although it would probably be cheaper, but that's a big old thing. It's like, you know, 1.5 foot wide now. They're about, you know, size of a mobile phone. They just fly up, and for 400 quid you can get a pretty good one. And yeah, I think I might more camera work to do, but
it'd be lovely. Is there any drone companies out there that want to? Yeah,
anybody from DJI watching? Anybody from DJI? Or anybody want to fly a drone? Because I want to do detecting and mudlarking and hovercrafting. Don't really want to be filming. We might have to get a guy out to someone out to help us do some drone footage, because other people won't release it because they own it now. So even though it's a view, they keep the footage for themselves.
I do know who you're talking about.
Yeah, well, you know, fair enough. They don't want to release it, so yeah, there's a couple of drones I'm looking at, just for the fun of it. I want to fly it as well. You know, just have a little go. I've got a little NAF one, but as soon as it gets too far away, the connection goes. So yeah, it's not exactly, and I think it only costs like 90 quid, but it's good to fly, good fun to go. But I actually want to get some decent footage, and I think I'm going to get one for upcoming things. Right, so the big announcement. I think it's time to hand over to Steve, and you could explain a little bit about your idea, because essentially it was your fantastic idea. We've been talking about doing this anyway, in a sort of matter of fact, or some capacity or another. But yeah, Steve, over to you. Tell us your your big. What's the big idea?
The big idea. Right, so it just so happens that behind my new house is a World War II airfield, RAF, as it was known then, RAF Perranporth, and they've got a motocross track on the airfield, and the kids were riding around. I obviously can't ride, so I'm hobbling around on crutches. And a couple of weeks ago, I found this, which was literally laying on the surface. So that's it's dated 1941. It's World War II 50 cal, so it would have been used in a Spitfire. And this, which is another one, just obviously like laying on the surface. You can see they've been run over probably a few times by children on their motocross bikes. And then a 303. They're all dated between 1939 and I think that one, I can't see it at the moment, but yeah, I think that was about 39 that was dated. Couple of pennies.
Oh wow, you've done a right coins.
Say they're one. Yeah, one of them's 1926, and the other one's sort of in the 30s. But they're just laying on the surface, so no detector, no nothing, almost like mudlarking. So then I've spoke to the owner of the airfield and said about the possibility of detecting it, and he said, "Yeah, that would be cool." Then me and Simon spoke about it, and we said, "Wouldn't it be a good idea if we invited some people to come and detect it with us?" Bearing in mind, this is a World War II airfield. There's how many acres, Steve? Here?
366.
366 acres. We can't do all of them at the moment because some of it's got crops in. But there's 366 acres. Never been detected. But apart from it being a World War II airfield, before that, there was farms, a medieval church. I've got a map in front of me from, I don't know if I can show you. Can you see that side?
Yeah, I haven't even seen this map yet, so I'm quite interested.
Yeah, well, all of these plots are like they're either you need to go on the in the local museum. You can get the numbers, go on there, see whether it was a homestead or just a pasture but yeah, and then there was so much activity on here previous to the airfield. I mean, can you imagine being able to be the first person to detect like this sort of land in this area?
No,
and apart from anything else,
yeah. So what we're doing is we're putting on basically an open rally. If anybody anywhere in the world can get here for the end of June, it's the 17th to the 19th of June. Obviously, there'll be a fee to pay. There'll be camping available. Then we'd love to have you along. I mean, obviously, not many people can come from overseas. Although, if you can get a chance to arrange it and come over, then we're good to have, anybody from all over the world. So what we're going to do, we're going to charge. We're trying to keep it as cheap as possible so we can be as inclusive to everyone. And there's going to be, look, here we go. We're going to be sponsored by good old LP Metal Detecting. And they've just announced they're going to do a raffle on the day. So, and some detectors to give away. So that would be absolutely brilliant for the people obviously going. The price is
do you know what? Detector.
Huh?
I could do with a detector. I haven't got one.
You haven't got one. That's a good start.
Detector. Do with one.
That's what a beer can should look like. Anyway, so yeah, we're really excited about this because we get to meet some people that are interested in mudlarking and metal detecting. Obviously, there's going to be some seasoned mudlarkers around the area as well. And to be honest, Cornwall is probably the most beautiful place. You'll be biased towards your own area.
I'd say the most beautiful place in the world. Picturesque.
Yeah, we've got a couple of videos to show you as well to get you in the mood. And we're doing this because we want to share the land, and there's so much to do. We're never going to get a chance to do all of ourselves. Steve has got his family and he's got other things and he's got commitments. There's acres and acres and acres and acres of it. So we want to smash it over one weekend, Saturday detecting, Sunday detecting, and see what we can find. There's bunkers. We'll show you a video of this in a second. There's bunkers still on the place that some of them are filled in, some of them you can get access in. And
most of it you can get into. Big bunkers, Steve.
They've
got pens and bunkers, isn't you? So
Yeah, there's like 24 revetments.
Yeah, there's 24 revetments.
Will have a bunker on it.
Each revetment's got a bunker, and then there's also what was called Spitfire pens. So, like, that they've put Spitfires in. As far as I know, I mean, there's a couple of them that people have been in, but being it's private lands, a lot of them have never been accessed since the war. I mean,
there's the double story as well over on the hovercraft track.
Is that where it is?
2 stories, yeah. Bottom layer is full of water, but you might get into the top layer.
Oh, and there's I mean, if you're into your World War II buildings, there's this control tower which I'm in, which is on 2 stories. There's also an underground control tower which is over by the cliff. Right. Apparently, you can go down there. I've not been down there as yet. You can get down there. You can go down one level, but you can't go down the second one because it's filled up with water. So, if you're into World War II stuff, there's plenty to explore as well.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, they didn't build those bunkers just for fun. I've got some amazing pictures to show you in a second. Actually, do you know what? I'll play it, and hopefully, I can speak over the top of it, and you can get a feel for what it is that was going on.
Hang on, one turn up. This is one of the parachutists. They jump out of airplanes regularly on the airfield.
Yeah, I don't know if you can still hear us, guys, but this is some of the footage from RAF Perranporth that I've managed to, to research and put on here for you. It's just incredible that there's all these people obviously working on Spitfires, taking off, landing. There's got to be stuff on these fields, and also there's this really interesting gold. That's a little gold. What do you call it? A little gold brooch at the end there. And apparently, one of the guys that flew a Spitfire from RAF Perranporth on 234 Squadron, he got shot down in France, but he managed to parachute to safety. And there's this thing called the what's it called? The Caterpillar Club, right? The Caterpillar Club gave him that gold brooch as a thing for using the parachute, getting down, saved his own life. He got congratulated by giving that little gold caterpillar there, right? So there's got to be more personal items that people have lost, not only 50 cals and ammunition and cap badges and stuff, but people were there, they were living on the site around that era. So goodness knows what we're going to find. And what we encourage you to do, if you want to, is if you do find anything, we're going to try and put a display together that they can we can leave it in the actual the airfield, and hopefully at one point there might even be a museum. Say again, Steve.
One of the bunkers, there's a society that said they're going to restore one of the bunkers. So if we can find any artifacts relating to the airfield, then we can donate them to them so they can put it on display in the bunker.
They called it the Caterpillar Club because silkworms were used. Silkworms have got a way of balancing in the air or something. It was like the Caterpillar it was formed in 1922. I'm reading this now by parachute makers Irving, and the caterpillar was chosen as it represented the silkworm, which can gently lower itself to earth by silky threads, and early parachutes made with silk. We're getting off the subjects a bit by talking about the the brooch, but it was one of the guys that left RAF Perranporth. He earned that from successfully bailing out of the aircraft, and they found aircraft, haven't they, in the cliffs below as well. Steve, you was telling me as well. So it's a really fascinating place. So there's been Merlin engines pulled out of the sea below it. Right.
There's also there's 3 mine shafts on the site. I mean, I thought if you was going to throw anything away, right, and this is what's strange about this place, because I've drove around it and that, you can't find where the rubbish dump was. And I spoke to another friend of mine that digs like World War II sites and that, and airfields and camps and that, and they all had a rubbish dump. Well, there's no sign of it, so you usually find bits of broken pottery, glass and stuff like in a certain area.
The airfield was a lot bigger at the time.
Yeah. Well, I suspect that they threw it all down a mine shaft.
Can you imagine? One day we'll give it a proper explore. I mean, that's not going to be on the cards for the rally, but I mean, by all means, go and have a look and see for yourself.
Oh no, we're going to do it. I've been told you so. I've spoke to Steve here, the security guard, and he said he's all right. He's he's up for us lowering him down a mine shaft on a rope. So we're going to need a rope probably, what, 200 foot long? He said that he doesn't mind if we lower him down on a rope.
Oh, he's going down. Okay, fine.
Yeah, no, we're going to just tie it. We're going to tie the rope to his feet, and then if I get the truck, I can just drive forward slowly.
Yep. I like that. I like the idea.
Yeah,
it's like Oak Island, isn't it? You know, you're lowering people down into a hole, and then
I guarantee you'll find more than half an acre here than have ever found on Oak Island, ever, or they ever will find on Oak Island.
We can find more in a day than Oak Island can find in a season or 8. But good luck to them for trying. I do watch it, and I'm rooting for you, Oak Island guys. Really am. So let's have a little look. So basically, what I'm doing, I'm going to set up. There's ways to book, and the way to book basically is to message me, and it's going to be you can pay via PayPal, or we might do a bank transfer. We're not rally organisers. We're just doing this because we want to get people there. So you might have to bear with us for a little bit while we get out. Get used to what we're doing. But we've got. Do you need public liability insurance? I would say that you probably would want to get an NCMD card, because they're only £9 a year, and most detectives have got them anyway. And it does cover you for a lot. There's the thing about this site is it's so cool because they've got camping. They put various events on as well, and the guy that owns it has got all the insurances to have numbers there and all the rest of it. And the site is pretty safe. It's airfields and scrubland, a mixture of all sorts. We'll work out where we can and can't go a bit closer to the day. But essentially, it's because they've already got a campsite there. There's already amenities such as toilets, showers, and there's a cafe as well. So you can eat some half decent food, or you can bring a tent and camp and do your own food. Either way, we're going to bring the hovercraft down, and we might do a few.
Hovercraft be there.
Yeah, you can have a look.
Well, I haven't told you. I spoke to a guy on the airfield. I spoke to a guy on the airfield today that used to run hovercraft events here, and he said he'd be willing to take people for rides on the hovercraft. So we'd have to sort out some sort of booking system. But yeah, if you fancy a hovercraft ride, then we can organise that for you.
I think it can be done. So so we're going to be arriving on the Friday night. I mean, you can come whenever you want, really. But you get up to 2 days camping. I mean, it might work out better to come on the Friday night. Then you're fresh Saturday morning, or if you're local and you don't necessarily want to do the camping, then we can reduce the rate to £40. So you don't have, it's £20 for camping basically. So we're going to do some different factors. Just let us know when you book what it is you want. If you've got a partner or a kid that wants to come, but they don't want to detect, but they just want to come along for the day and just chill out and have a laugh, then they can come for free as long as you're a paying guest. So we're not going to charge you extra to bring your missus and all that nonsense. But you just need, as long as you stay on one camping plot, then that's absolutely fine. If you need more camping, then obviously there'll be like £20 for an extra charge. But all you got to do is message me. What I'll do is I'll put the details up. I think I'm going to put a Facebook event up, which I haven't done just yet, but I will do literally as we're talking. So you can contact me through Facebook on the Messenger. And also, I know some people don't like Facebook, so for those people, I'll give you my email address as well. What I'll do, I'll put all the details in the description as well. It's sci-fines at Outlook. Sci-fines at Hotmail. I can't remember. I don't use that one very often. But I'll put the right email address in there, and you can contact me, and we'll just let me know what you want, and then we'll sort payment out. It is literally first come, first serve. So if you hang about and can't make your mind up, we think we've got about 150 acres, which should mean, I thought about Eventbrite, Simon, but they charge you like another 3%, and it means like we want to try and make it as slim as possible, just so that it's accessible to everyone. We don't want to price anyone out. So Eventbrite means they're going to charge another 3%, all that nonsense. So with PayPal, we can do it for £60. Or if you want to do it as a business transaction, it'll be £62 because they charge fees as well. It's all a bit of a faff when it comes to payment, but you try and do it the most easiest way. Send me a message, tell me exactly what you want, and we'll put you down. But I'll get the link up there as soon as this live feed finishes. So yeah, I can't wait, Steve. It should be a really good weekend. Even, you know, I can't wait to see what comes out of the ground.
I say it's never been detected. So, I mean, yeah, apart from the World War II stuff, there is houses going sort of back to the 15th century on this site. So, yeah, you've not just got your World War II stuff. You've got, a lot older. And it's on like a flat piece of land between St Agnes and Perranporth.
Okay.
So it's always going to be like a focal point for the area. So, yeah, you don't know what's going to come up, really.
No, it's a picturesque area as well. I mean, you've been surfing it recently, with your kids have, and it's a beautiful part of the world.
And I'm just about walking.
You can just sit on it, can't you? Let it take you out.
Yeah. But so yeah, the hovercraft to be. Well, if you fancy jumping out of an aeroplane, they'll be happy to assist with what is it? Cornwall. Yeah,
Skydive Cornwall.
Yeah, so if you want to come down, but you can also book Skydive Cornwall as well to go along with it, and they'll be happy to throw you out of an airplane.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing that, but I still think a lot of people might be.
Yeah. I tell you what, this would be the ultimate experience. You hit the nail on the head there. You can pretend you're a Spitfire pilot from the Second World War bailing out.
Oh yeah, I like it. You'll get brilliant views of the rally as well. Say again, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it should be a good weekend. So yeah, just see if anyone's got any questions. WW2.
I'm glad because I've got 1% on my phone.
Oh, you're going to be off. Okay, cool. All right then. Well, we put the word out there. You kind of get the idea. I'm going to put links on. Like, if you want a ticket, you can email me, or you can go onto the event. You're going to go, Steve. All right. Okay, mate. All right. Well, no,
1%.
All right. Well, when you go, you go. And yeah, it's nearly half an hour of chit chat. Right, there we go. So, guys, I hope you're excited about it as we are. It's our first ever rally, first ever event. Come down, shake around, say hello, stay the night, have a few beers, and get metal detecting, and we can find some awesome history. I think it's a really amazing chance to detect a field that's never been, as far as we know, has never been detected. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It should be good, and it's 3.5 weeks away, so hopefully that'll be enough time for you to get your stuff in gear and go to leisure promotions if you want any. If you need to buy a detector, and I'm sure they'll give you, if you mention sci-fi and you're going to the rally, they might give you a little discount. I don't know, but yeah, it's exciting times. It's good fun. I mean, we'll hopefully go down to Cornwall to do some mudlarking as well at some point. There's all sorts of estuaries down there, and yeah, it's going to be good times. So yeah, not really sure what else to say, really. Any questions you got for me, and I'll answer them now. Otherwise, stick around and watch the... one thing I was going to say, actually, is on all you guys that might be watching overseas and you can't get more 4, I'm going to try and figure out a way to do a little watch party. It depends on how much we're involved in the show. It might be they're only on for 30 seconds and it would just be like, no, we're not going to worry about doing any watch parties or anything. But what I'm just thinking, if we can use somehow like a dual stream, if I stream it, whether it's legal, I don't know, to kind of maybe do a private Teams or Zoom chat, and then maybe I can show you the obviously the footage that we can see in the UK. So I'm just trying to think about how I can do that. So I might do a couple of demos and see if it works. I don't know how great the footage is going to be or the audio, but you're never going to see that. And if it was, we're quite proud of that little cameo in that program. It's a good little show, actually. What I've seen so far, they've done it really well. The thing is, as most TV shows go, it's not all about us. There's other detectorists, and there's amazing finds to be found in Britain, and they featured these absolutely monumental finds, and it really does show you what the average bloke in the street can find, given that they've given a detector and somewhere to search, and the chances are sooner or later you'll find something pretty cool, which is why we love doing it. So yeah, if we could get a watch party together, again, depends on how much we're involved in it. Or maybe I could rip it off and somehow give it to you as another way. But we'll think of something. And anybody that's in the UK, yeah, check it out tonight. And just leave a message on YouTube or whatever, and let us know what you think. And it was great talking to you guys. So I'm pretty sure that I've covered everything. I'll say the anchor from the weekend. Yeah, the big one. There was a huge anchor from Gosport. It was incredibly large. In fact, it was really far out. It was actually in the deep mud as well. So I think anybody given half a chance would have taken it. And do you know what? Right, that reminds me of a little story that I've just been told by a few friends of mine. There was a beautiful anchor. I don't know if you've ever seen the anchor. There's an anchor in Wapping, outside the prospect of Whitby. And it was a beautiful big old thing, and I featured it sometimes in the video just as a like a bit of B-roll, as they say, just a nice get a bit of the ambience of the foreshore down there. And someone nicked it, someone took it, and it wasn't like there was just someone didn't just take it away, because if it's just floating around and it's going to be lost anyway, then obviously that's fine to take. But they actually cut through the chain of about a 3-ton anchor and nicked it. And it was a beautiful piece of furniture, architecture, if you like, foreshore furniture, as I like to say. And someone nicked it. And it was a big old thing, so it must have taken a few people. And I'm surprised no one worked out what they were doing, because it would have made a hell of a noise. The one I got, when I got it out, I knew that it wasn't connected to anything. It was a few years ago now. I could just about lift it, but that's quite a good video. I was out with Nick, and I made sure that it wasn't chained down or anything like that, and I could see that it was moving. So give it another 6 months not even that, it would have eventually come free. So if anybody says, "Oh, you took an anchor," well, yeah, I took it because it was I could have lifted it out of the foreshore, and it would have gone. It would have been either. There was a rumour that sometimes the PLA do take anchors because they're an obstruction to shipping and things like that. But they don't usually come that close to the foreshore, very rarely. So I think someone took it for their own, whatever. Maybe they scrapped it. Who knows? Thanks, Leah, for the super sticker. Right, okay. We visit here one day. Where's here? Charlotte, where are you? You're sorry, talking to Elliot. I thought you was talking to me. Yes, Nirvana, cool band. I'm a 90s child, so I did like a good old Nirvana. Still, their songs never get boring. And I like a bit of rock, a bit of indie. So how'd they lift it? Oh, well, I think, Catherine, they must have lifted the anchor by possibly getting 3 or 4 guys down there and lifting it up. And maybe, I don't know who sort of people would do that. Someone who wanted to make a few quid. The trouble with scrap metal is it's worth like 10 quid a ton. So people say to me sometimes, "Oh, why don't you could take all the scrap metal, all those bits of scrap, they got to be worth some money." And like, no, they're not really. The copper and the lead is, but the iron is worth naff £10 a ton or £15 a ton. So to go to the effort of actually picking it all up, putting it in the car, it's just never going to be plausible for making any money. But we found a load of rolls of lead the other day that someone had obviously just thrown in the Thames after a job. Lead's worth a few quid, but even then, that's heavy. It's just sometimes it's not worth the bother. You're only down there to enjoy yourself and have a good time, not to, take as much as you physically can to sell. So I like just enjoying the process of mudlarking, finding the old stuff, get excited about that, go have a beer after. Right, well, it's been lovely chatting to you guys. Why and when did you start mudlarking, Jim? Good question, very good question. About over 10 years ago, I just fancied metal detecting. I just like the idea of going out, finding treasure or finding stuff and seeing what I could find. you hear about things on the news. It wasn't ever about finding hoards, but it was just about. I just love old things. I like watching antique programs and just looking at old objects, and I like going to museums. I mean, I could just spend all day in a museum just staring at things, thinking, I can't believe that, the history and the stories that thing could tell. So I had a little urge to go metal detecting about 10, 11 years ago. Bought the cheapest, crappiest detector that you could get from Maplin, like an electronics shop that is now shut down. But I thought, for 30 quid, at least I can try it and give it a go and see if I like it. And I went outside. There was a park nearby. I went in the wooded area and found like a half crown, like a silver half crown, only from the sort of 40s or 50s or something. And I was proper excited about that, thinking that's really good. And then carried on, found little lead toys and stuff, and thought, I like this hobby. You kind of chilled out, you're in your own zone. You're not thinking about work or other stuff, and it's really fun. So I started looking on YouTube and Facebook and all the rest of it, and that's before it was really popular on too popular on YouTube anyway. But there was a few Facebook groups knocking around, and obviously I live so close to the Thames. I started thinking about detecting on the Thames and started searching about how can you detect on the Thames, and then it just through various groups there. Thames and Field was a good. Have you ever look up Thames and Field website? It's quite a good website. I'll put a little thing on here just to show you. It's called thamesandfield.com, I believe. That's how you spell it. So yeah, check that out. And I discovered that website. It's completely different now. It was completely different before, and they don't keep it updated anymore for some reason. It's all because everything's gone online on Facebook and Instagram. Websites don't really seem to get updated quite so often in respect to mudlarking and finds and things like that. Blogs and all that sort of pages have sort of gone by the wayside, I feel. And not blogs so much, but more like forums. There used to be a lot of forums back in the day, and there's not so much now. So found Thames and Field. They had a little club night, went along to there, said I'm interested in going to mudlarking and detect on the Thames. And that's where I met Jules all those years ago. There's a video out on Sunday. Me and Jules, we hit the Thames and we have beautiful pipes and some other interesting bits and bobs. So it's a good video to look forward to on Sunday. And the guys there were really kind and open-armed and said, yeah, well, this is what we do. They don't do it anymore, but back then it was quite a good way of being introduced to the hobby. I thought it was going to be weird going to a detecting club, like 30 years old. Like, what am I doing? I should be out like partying and drinking and stuff, which I still did. But it was a little old man's club. But there was all sorts there, women, men, and kids. It was really cool. And they used to put a little finds table out, and being a newbie, you think, bloody hell, you found all this stuff in the Thames. That's incredible. But you realise it takes a lot of time and perseverance to find these sorts of things. Eventually you get the knack of it. You have to get your eye in and, work out all the secrets there are in mudlarking. And it sort of grew from a general interest in metal detecting to an absolute obsession. And it takes over your life. And you can't wait to go out next time. You're checking the tide times every time a new week comes up, and you're trying to work out when the best low tide is. And we're always trying to find the next best thing. It's like a little addiction, but I like to think it's a healthy addiction, because you're out seeing beautiful, sites like Tower Bridge, and the Thames is a beautiful river, and it's a nice place to be when the weekend comes. Like most of you, I work as well, so when the weekend comes, I like to do my hobbies, which is mudlarking, and more enjoyably as well is sharing it all with you. And I really appreciate everyone tuning in today and getting involved and generally supporting me with the channel. And cheers to that. So, all right, guys, I will leave you there. Again, like I said, if you're in the UK, stick around for the watch the More 4 9 o'clock Great British History Hunters. Oh, hopefully it's not too cringy, but even if it is, it was still a bit of fun doing it. All right then, guys. Well, thanks very much, and thanks for the super chats. And I hope if you want to come along to the dig, the rally, and the end of June, then you're more than welcome. And just tap me up, and we can sort out your tickets and go from there. All right, guys, we'll have a great evening, have a great week, and I'll see you on Sunday for the next mod venture. Okay, cheerio.